How you doing there, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Nexweave Show. My name is Bruce. A lot of you know me. And without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the founder of, or one of the co-founders of Nexweave, Inder. Hey, Inder.
Hi everyone. Hope you guys are having a lot of fun.
How you doing, man? It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, I think a couple of things have been having in the background where we were trying to go back and see the how we can start getting in some experts on board, specifically to address the top three things that the community requested. One, they wanted a course compiled for them, so that's under wraps. It might take some time, but we will start throwing out some sessions like that. Uh, the other things that were of interest were that they wanted some access to experts so that someone could do the setup for the campaigns for them.
Right.
And we got something interesting for that in today's session. And the third one is to spice up the community, see how we can incentivize others to share their case studies, their wins, their use cases. That's something that we're planning for next week. So without further ado, I think let's call the guest for today.
Got it. So I guess we'll make this like a little announcement too in the process. And we'll invite our guest on. Let's go ahead and just bring him on, and I'll let you do the announcement. There you go. Clyde, I'm going to bring you on the show. Say hello, Clyde.
Hey, Bruce. Hey, Indir, and hey, guys. Yeah, my name is Clyde. I'm the CEO and founder of OB Services, and I'm excited to work with Indir's team and clients, and just help them out with our expertise.
Perfect. Andrew, let's talk about real quick about the relationship between Nexweave and OB Services.
Yeah, so if you guys noticed, we had floated a questionnaire about a couple of weeks back asking for the top items that came out as requests from conversations that we had with some of our early adopters. So we then try to put across that particular survey to get an input that if we have to ask the entire community, what are let's say the top 5 things that they want to get done amongst the list of 12. What we noticed is that the early adopters have probably figured out how to make the templates because there were very few requests coming in on how to set up the templates or get assistance on how to create a video template or stuff like that. But on the other categories where we were talking about campaigns, we received close to 40 plus votes across different categories on people wanting help on setting up their email campaigns, their email to landing page campaigns, their chat bots, etc., etc. So that's where I started having a conversation with some folks. Clyde was very welcoming over there, where we ran through some conversations. We had a couple of sessions with their team, and they've gone ahead and absorbed on how these campaigns can be done. So we'll try out a brief experiment where we will invite some folks to come and share what they want to do with Nexweave in this particular session. And we're going to give away maybe 3 to 5 individuals a free session with Clyde's team on how to set up their Nexweave campaign, especially for those who come and participate in this particular session. And then we'll have probably another 3 to 5 individuals given access based on the kind of use cases that they're ready to share and the ones that they want to get done from Clyde's team.
And let's talk about that real quick. So guys, there's a couple ways how you could kind of like win this giveaway of having OB Services kind of like prepare your campaigns, right? So number one is leave your comments on the screen, and we'll do a raffle giveaway throughout the show. And then number two, I'll put up the link right now. If you want to go ahead and join us in the studio and discuss your specific use case of how you would like to use Nexweave and have someone help prepare your campaign using OB Services, perfect. We'll go ahead and select a few of you based on the use case that you discuss. So I'll go ahead and share those links up on the screen right now for everybody. How did you guys meet? That's what I'm kind of interested to find out.
So I think Clyde had participated in some conversations with the community itself, where maybe Clyde, you might want to explain your journey with the community itself, how you had conversations with others, and how this happened.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Indir. Well, it all started with me. It began with some addiction in terms of this LTD products in the market, and but since 2017, we've already had a call center here in the Philippines, and it was sort of me having all these apps, but didn't really have the time to sort of use it. So I thought, of wait, I have a lot of guys. Why not, teach them, have them take care of all this LTD softwares that I have, and that's where it all started. And then I then offered a sort of a services, a sort of a unique service, which is a tech support or a SaaS product support um, for all those software owners, and it went well, and I've got some love from the community, and right now we just want to focus on it, and especially with Nexweave, and all other, we also have other we're also partners with other companies as well, including Nexweave, and would love to help um, clients in using Nextweave as part of their integration, integrated with other softwares that they might have. So yeah, and then that's when we I got to meet with Indir, and everything just it was the conversation was smooth, and we loved the discussion, and that's how it came about.
So I was just going to ask right on what's going to necessarily be involved in this. I don't want to say handheld, but I can't think of a better. I can't think of a better description. Right, or a handheld or white glove type of walkthrough as to what OBI would prepare, present, what they would create with some of our community members. So, as someone like myself or any other person who's a Nextweave user, it's like, okay, great, OBI has this relationship. How do I benefit? What is exactly going to be done with with one of these campaigns? Like, how do you guys work? Walk me through what you would tell like a prospective client, right? Because that's something that I'm going to want to know. How does this help my Nextweave purchase as being a lifetime deal owner?
So I think one of the things that Clyde,
yeah,
yeah. So one of the things that Clyde, which stuck onto me as well, because I've also been a part of the LTD ecosystem since 4 years now, is that a lot of us have got amazing tools, but we don't probably put it to use as much. So that's where what OB Services is doing is caught my eye, that the best way to get value from whatever we are doing is to get more people to adopt it. And if OB is partnering in a format where they would be going ahead and helping people make use of their LTDs, why don't I have a conversation with them to see that if, let's say, the community is willing to pay a small fee for someone to set up their particular campaigns and derive more value, why not try to orchestrate that equation where, let's say, we'll try to seed this conversation first by offering, let's say, 5 to 10 individuals to try out the whole arrangement. And once we have a better assessment in terms of what goes into the whole process, in terms of what information Clyde's team requires for setting up a particular category of campaign, what kind of turnarounds are involved, etc., then we can flesh out a proper integration between the two services, where you can either make your own campaign or you can request assistance from Clyde's team for a certain fee, and they'll go ahead and do the campaign for you.
Clyde, I'll let you jump in too.
Yeah, basically, what we obviously offer, same thing as what I said earlier. I had all these apps before, but I really didn't have the time, and I think that's where we come in, the value of us doing it for the customers, for the clients, especially in terms of since we're going to be doing this most of the time, so we will have that expertise, and that's what we bring into the table, the time. Obviously, instead of the client doing it by themselves, which would obviously waste time for them, we can do it for them. So yeah, so basically that's it. And obviously the price will be really affordable, and India knows about this.
So let's talk about that too, right? Like, um, if you're not selected to be like one of the giveaway winners, what are the costs? So people have like some sort of an expectation, number one. And then number two, and this goes to the both of you, like, let's say what separates OBI from other agencies. I see Miss Evans was asking, well, why select OBI for the partnership, right? So, Inder, you must have something in mind, and maybe that's something that the two of you could answer. What separates OBI from everyone else? And then why would Nexweave specifically choose OBI? I'll let you guys go ahead.
So to be honest, everyone who's in the community is going to get an option to become a certified partner. It's not just OB services. It's just that they were doing an activity where they were trying to get others to use their LTD accounts a little more. The conversation was fairly fluid over there. Uh, we had conversations on how this could scale ahead as well. Let's say if 40 or 50 of us from the community want to get that campaigns going, so they had that kind of bandwidth at their end where they could scale up very quickly and do this thing. uh, so that's where we went ahead. We had a structured training for them in terms of how they can go ahead and run these specific things. We asked them that what is it that you are comfortable in terms of offering, and that's how we've gone ahead and selected the simpler services. Now there are some power users within the community, and like Miss Evans and Omar is also someone who's been uh, playing around with Nextweave quite a lot. There are a few more folks who've done very integrated integrations. So I'm sure that as we expand, there would be individuals who will be interested in offering the higher tier of services as well. And I think uh, this is just a starting over there. If uh, people from the community can step up and start talking about the stuff that they can do, we can obviously turn this into a very interesting exercise where we can have more showcases about what things can be done on the platform, and see how other Nextweavers can have conversations with Nextweavers itself to see certain things done. But I think if it's a partnership, I just had to start with thinking of scalability on what happens if we try to make an announcement like that and how it goes forward, and which is where I think Clyde was best suited to sort of get the snowball rolling.
I actually see a lot of posts from Jim Evans from Next Week community, or yeah, the Facebook group, and I like the how he has been very helpful to the community. At the same time, the use cases that we can really also um, use for our I mean, for my team to sort of try it out. Thanks, Bernard. I just see a comment from Bernard.
And Clyde, that also goes to what would you say is, like, let's say the value prop. So one, what would be like the value prop that separates you from other companies or other agencies too, compared to someone else within the community, A, and then B, what can people expect, how you price out a campaign, or what they could expect if they were to discuss with you, hey, I love Nextweave, I just don't know how to use it, and I wasn't a giveaway winner, what are the costs I can expect?
Yeah, aside from the cost really is something, right? But yeah, for with us, it's really affordable. Aside from that, since we've ran this, or since we already have this type of support that we that we already know a lot of apps that's on the market right now. Like you've got VBout, Sweet Dash, Flowloon, all those softwares out there. And Nextweave is something that can be integrated to a lot of the softwares. And since my team already has the expertise in handling this software, then I believe it would be a lot more easier for us to sort of integrate it with Nextweave. Yeah. Did I answer your question or?
Yeah, I guess people are still going to be interested to know what is the cost going to be if they're not a winner, right? So how would they figure out what is that? How is that calculated? What can they expect? Is there a range? Because
Yeah, sure.
definitely people are going to be part of the live stream today, but they may
Yeah,
want to bug you and say, "Hey, what's the cost going to be?" Because I want to use Nexweave for my marketing services. I just don't know what kind of results I can expect for how much money I'm going to put down.
correct. Yeah, I
Yeah, I'll
can
put in over
have
there.
next Indir. Yeah, I can have Indir answer the question.
Yeah. Uh, so one of the reasons why we are doing this exercise is to also understand that what is the information that's going to be required by the team to go ahead and do a campaign. Uh, Let me probably take a scenario. Let's say someone wants to do a campaign where they want to do a LinkedIn outreach, where they want to set the templates for the outreach that take them to a personalized video landing page. Now, this conversation could take the client team over 5 hours to implement if they've not started with anything like starting from the template and then configuring it and testing it out, etc., etc. However, if they've already made the templates and they've done a certain things, then the time it will take them would be something a little more rationalized as compared to that. So the whole idea is to try and understand that what is the preparation that needs to be done beforehand so that the partnership is fruitful for everyone, where they can get the maximum value of time. And at our end, we're trying to make it extremely affordable, where don't take my word for it, but maybe this could be coming at a price of, let's say, $10 an hour or $15 an hour, so that it's not something which is going to pinch you quite a lot. And in most cases, it'll be something where you can very easily factor in a finite amount of time by looking at the process and saying that, okay, if I want to run a campaign like this, I need to have these three things ready, and the team at Clyde's end will go ahead and do it within 48 hours or within 24 hours, and this is what it is going to cost me. So that is the trajectory where we're trying to go to, so that anyone who's stepping in knows that if I do these 4 things on the checklist, it will cost me, let's say, $40 to go ahead and get the campaign done with this particular team. Okay, we might go ahead and have more examples being added, because let's say if someone wants to do a very integrate flow for cold outreach that goes across emails and LinkedIn and maybe some other platforms, and they want to use some tools like Zapier, etc., then I think that's where the community can then start up and start saying that these are the use cases that we've done very well, and this is what we are ready to offer as a service to others as well, which is where I think the folks who've been power users can also step up. I'm sure they wouldn't want to price it at the level that OB would want to do that, or we would want to do that, because we look at the more, I would say, volume-driven services, which are a lot more simpler, and the expertise-driven services can then come through the power users and the experts in the community.
And I'll let people know, guys, in order to be entered also into some of today's giveaways, just leave a comment on the screen. You'll see also at the very bottom, what I've done is I've included the directions if you want to give StreamYard permission, so we can see your name. Basically, Facebook is giving us permission to see your name when you drop a comment. So that way, during the show, I could do the giveaway raffle. And, if it says Facebook user, I don't know who that is, because you didn't give StreamYard permission, so I won't be able to give you some of the giveaways for today. That's number one. And then number two, I've also included the StreamYard link there, guys. So if you want to come on and discuss your use case with us of how you could see yourself using OBI services, that's something that we take into consideration when we do giveaways separate from the raffle. So please feel free to join us, kind of like for a little mini roundtable, and we'll definitely make it worth your while. Anyways, all right, guys, sorry about that. Just wanted to let everyone know about today's raffle giveaway. We'll do that here. We'll do the first one in a few minutes. Besides that, I'll let you guys go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so I think what we will do is that for anyone who comes up on the screen right now, the first 3 of them will get a free session on what they want to get implemented amongst the 5 or 6 services that came up in the forum. And after the session, we'll try and invite other individuals if there are some elements that they want to either offer or want to get done, so that we can advance this particular conversation and get more people to use their Nexweave accounts. That's one thing. And next week we will jump on to the third element of the set of tasks that were mentioned, where we will start some sort of a campaign or an incentive model where people can come and start sharing how they've implemented Nexweave. We are taking in probably the first 25 individuals to move them to a private community where we want people to be very communicative, very active, so that it just benefits whoever is there in the community. So we'll start that exercise probably from this particular weekend, get in 25 members on early access, see how that particular thing goes, have more value added from the internal team, from OB's team, from other power users, and then see how we can scale that up into a more active community that has more contribution from everyone, has a different level of energy altogether as compared to the Facebook group as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, what we'll do to give people an example of what it looks like to do a giveaway if you haven't seen one before. Let me go ahead and I will share my screen to show people. Let me pull it up. I'll show you guys what it looks like to do a giveaway. So all of you who are watching who haven't left a hey Summit and then hey Mr. Trong, there you go. For those of you who haven't seen, what we'll do is we'll do a giveaway based on the comments. So as long as you leave a comment, you're entered into the giveaway. Let me go and share my screen.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, and if you, Sumit, any of you folks want to have a conversation over here on what is the use case that you want to get done with Clyde's help, feel free to come onto the camera. We can have a very quick discussion so that even Clyde knows that what kind of examples people are looking at.
Perfect. All right, we'll jump right into the first. Giveaway here. There we are. Bernard. This will be the first one, guys. Bernard, he comes in at the very end. He drops a comment and he wins. Oh, that was funny. That was funny. Bernard, you came in right at the last second and you won. That was good. All right, buddy. Make sure to reach out to us on the Facebook page. Right. I was thinking the same thing. Make sure you come out to discuss with us or reach out to us on the Facebook page. And, we'll all get your contact information and everything. Facebook.com/Nexweave. Just hit us up there on the chat. Lucky Bernard. Exactly.
Awesome. So I'll request one thing when you guys are going ahead and sharing the use cases that you want to get done. If you can also mention some aspects of what kind of stack you're using, what kind of tools you're using. Let's say if it's a chatbot, then what kind of chatbot you're using. Then it'll just help us understand that what kind of requests are coming more often. And even Clyde's team can then take notice of that and try to prepare themselves for these specific use cases. I think go ahead and check their website. They've done some interesting partnerships, which also align well with what we are doing with, let's say someone might want assistance on media or the MarTech stack or with chatbots. So they have a few of them already listed over there.
And congrats. All right.
Great. So let's do this. Bernard has already got the first session, which is going to be sponsored by us. So go ahead and try out how you want to use or implement a particular campaign. For the remaining 9 sessions that we wanted to give away, we will go ahead and make an announcement in the community. We'll probably even send out emails to folks, and we'll pick up the 9 which are most interesting that we can go ahead, get that implemented, and also share some insights with the community in terms of how much time, effort, etc. took to get it done. And then we can also release some maybe early pricing on how these services will be available to other Nexweavers if they want to get these things done.
Do we also want to allow this for next week to give people a chance for a buzz to stir up a little bit more interest, and then more people to be like, hey, I want to be part of that OBI giveaway? Do we want to include that maybe 1 or 2 for next week also?
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of responses are coming in for these particular 9 remaining giveaways that we have. And if we feel that this thing is scaling up well, and if Clyde's team is okay with that, then we'll go ahead and try and expand the number of examples. What we actually need to do is see that which of these examples are getting most levels of interest, and also get some element of uniqueness in terms of the example. So I think with these 9 or 10, we would have enough examples to estimate what is the efforts that they're going to be going around in the whole exercise to price it further. But yeah, in fact, I would also urge others who've got slightly more complicated use cases to come forth and share those as well. Because if the community sees more value in them, then Clyde and I can have a discussion to see how we can also have slightly more complicated tasks also implemented as part of the whole engagement.
So that brings me to my last question here. And so I'm thinking, do we also want to give an email blast to other users? That way they're A, aware of the partnership, and then B, we can also discuss that. Clyde, I don't know if you're going to be free, but the idea would be, hey, let's let, once there's a buzz because we've let the community know, let's say via an email or something, right? The idea is, let's see what their interest is going to be once we bring it on the live stream. Hey guys, we're discussing our OBI relationship that we discussed on the live stream. We're going to discuss that again next week, so more people can be brought in who maybe haven't logged into their Nexweave account yet, right? Or maybe they haven't used it, but they've activated it. Great. Maybe that will be a great entree for them to come in and say, you know what, I could use some hand holding. OBI, can you help me out with that? Yeah, Vicky's thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I think let's see how the responses are for this particular engagement. I am really excited about how this can go forward, because I know I've been on that side where I've had probably more than 60% of my lifetime deals which I'm not using. And if Clyde and team are going ahead and then knocking on these kind of guys that go ahead and make use of your investments, I think it's going to trigger a whole different taste to the whole LTD ecosystem. And we're just trying to hop onto that particular boat and take the first ride.
Got it. Hey, Clyde, I forgot to ask you, do you guys at OBI have a community yourself?
At the moment, no.
Got it. I was thinking if you did, we could have it like a mishmash of communities coming together between, OBI and Nexweave, and, just talk about things. It would be really interesting if it's like, fans of OBI. It would just make sense, like the two coming together, the two giants, and then you have the fan bases behind each service discussing, hey, I'd like to see this happen, et cetera, et cetera. All right.
So in fact, one of the things that I am also doing is, and if in case any of you have got communities, we'll be happy to have this session where maybe if the community is around a specific use case, could be e-commerce, could be cold outreach, then we could have a live session together where maybe if Clyde's okay with it, we can go through and run an example live as an open session on how to implement it. I think that could be fairly interesting to go ahead and do that.
Got it.
I have a few planned at my end, but yeah, anyone can go ahead and volunteer their own community as well, and we can do something over there.
So that's a little shout out to any of the founders that we've worked with, or that know myself, or that know Ender. That's number one. Number two, Facebook user, I don't know who you are because you have not given StreamYard permission. So in the future, if you want to be allowed to win, you have to give StreamYard permission, because Facebook user, I don't know who that is to give you your giveaway if you were to win. So please give StreamYard permission. You see that scrolling on the full bottom of the ticker tape on the screen there. So thank you for joining us. Bernard,
awesome.
A live demo.
I think let's do one thing. Let's do one more raffle.
I agree. And I was going to suggest that after Bernard's comment here, a live demo would be great. Bernard, is that such a thing might be possible? Sorry, Clyde.
So that's what.
Go ahead.
Go for it, Clyde.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that is something possible, but I can have someone from my team do a live demo on different use cases. Of course, as we as we experience or as we get this type of use, or if clients would want it, then we can probably share it to the community as well through a live demo. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that setup next week would be great, right? That will let people explore more of the OBI Nexweave relationship. So I totally agree on that. Okay, let's do one more giveaway then, guys. Let
And
me go
while
ahead.
that's happening, I think we'll plan one live session where maybe we can pick up one example. It'll have our team as well as maybe someone from Clyde's team taking away that particular example, going through step by step in terms of how it can be executed. It'll just be a showcase of how it would be when you're working with the combination.
And then one is asking, could we cover what is OBI again for those who just joined in? We just had a surge in users, probably since we did the giveaway, which is great, guys. So just stick with us because we're going to do another giveaway in just a sec here. Think I'm good now? No, not yet. It hasn't given StreamYard permission. Abhishek, would love to see live things happening. Will be a great learning experience. I totally agree. Guys, for those who just joined in, this is like a partnership announcement between Clyde and of OBI Services and Nexweave. So for those of you who just joined, Andrew or Clyde, I'll let you, either one of you, handle it. Let's describe to the community what exactly is this partnership announcement between Nexweave and OBI.
I can go for it. So I noticed Clyde within the community at the same time when we were running a survey with our community members on what are the top 3 things that they would want us to do. Amongst the 3 things that came up, one was that they would love to have access to some experts who can set up the campaigns for them, etc., etc. And I noticed that Clyde was having a conversation with the community where it was around making use of their LTDs by offering them a service where he would go ahead and implement certain tools for them amongst a selected stack. So it was just natural timing where I reached out to him. We had some conversations. We saw value in the partnership. We arranged a few demo calls with their team on how to design templates, how to go about various features, how to get various integrations done. And that's where we went on talking about how we could probably integrate the two together, so that if, let's say, someone has gone ahead and subscribed to Nexweave, or they just love the value proposition, but they don't have the time to implement it themselves or the expertise to do it themselves, then Clyde's team can step in, work with them, and try to go ahead and run those particular campaigns at their end. So you won't have to implement your campaigns yourself. You can pay a small fee to this particular arrangement where Clyde's team will step in and have those setups done for you. And we are giving away, I would say, 9 more sessions where people can go ahead and get an experience of this particular engagement before we go ahead and start pricing this particular arrangement.
That's not going to work there. Okay. Abhishek says he would love to see a use case between the collaboration of Nexweave and OBI. Well, Abhishek, it's simple as you have a Nexweave lifetime deal, for example, but you don't know necessarily how to implement it or how to create some campaigns from it. That's the purpose of OBI, hand-holding, walking you through, setting up your campaign for whatever your objective might be for your job or for your company, right? The idea is, hey, we have all these lifetime deals and we have all the software that we own. Let's execute on someone providing agency services to the owners of these lifetime deals. There you go, Abhishek. Wow, got it. He's happy. Perfect. All right. On that note, let's go ahead and do yes, exactly, a service provider. Is that the best way to describe it? I mean, I don't want to downplay the services, but I don't want to call it simply a service provider. But I mean, is there a better way to describe it?
Yeah, I think
What I would say is that,
that it is.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, Indir.
what I would say is that since we've had a couple of conversations on how to do these certain things, and we are also trying to handhold them on how to do this in a particular way, it would not just be a service provider. It could probably also turn into something that will give you some inputs as well. For example, let's say someone comes up and says that I've got MailChimp, I've got, let's say, WordPress as my landing page builder, and this is the campaign that I want to do. So, if they've taken some steps in terms of building a template and they're confused on how to go about doing this, or they probably just don't want to learn the whole thing themselves and save time and maybe put their time somewhere else. Maybe an entrepreneur who thinks that this campaign can be done by an expert and I can have someone else who can go ahead, or I can put my time in terms of hiring, in terms of growth, or something else. That would be the perfect arrangement where an implementation partner like Obi can step in, bring in their experience and expertise of doing this in a much more faster way, and it will be mutually beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, I can see that there.
And we're going to try to keep it cheaper than a cup of coffee, so that that is not going to be biting a big hole in your wallet if you want to go and get this done.
That being said, and I kind of want to expand what Juan says. Could we think of OBI as being our white label agency during this campaign? Clyde?
Yes.
I'll leave that answer.
Yes.
Oh, one word answer. Yes, very, very succinct. Perfect. Okay, cool. That was easy. Yes, submit outsourcing service for lifetime deal addicts. Abhishek, I hope the service charges will be affordable. That's something that I'd like to expand upon further too. But let me go ahead and get to the giveaway, guys. Now that we have a good decent amount of people here, let's jump in for the next draw. Very good idea of a partnership. I have so many LTDs that I don't use because I don't have the time to learn and deploy. And Submit, you've won. Thank you very much. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot there also for Submit.
Awesome. So we still have 8 sessions remaining. So if you're not one of those guys who won the session with the team, you can go ahead and share your specific use case within the community, and we'll pick 8 of them so that we can have them go ahead and implement this for you as well.
Abhishek, and a very important question, charges will be one-time or recurring. Well, if you come on camera and you discuss with us your use case, nothing right now. Let's just put it like that. And then if you don't win part of the giveaway raffle, that depends, because it depends. Are you going to be doing more than a 1 month, or are you going to be doing monthly? I'm assuming, Clyde, that your pay structures or your invoices are done on a month-to-month basis.
We do have a month-to-month, but we also have a one-time fee depending on what type of work they would need. But again, in terms of pricing, and I'd like Indir to answer that question.
Yeah, I think it all depends on this particular experiment. Let's see over the next 1 month or 45 days in terms of what kind of requests are coming in. And then if there are people who are running recurring campaigns, we can probably come up with a different model. If someone wants to get the setup done once, let's say they got a SaaS and they just want to set up the onboarding once. So it could be a one-time model. So like I said, the whole exercise is also for us to learn how can we make it more affordable and more efficient for each one of you. And then maybe we'll come up with models, and I'll assure you it will be affordable irrespective of which part of the world you're from, because we want this to be adopted by a lot of Asian companies as well. Yeah, but don't lose out on a chance on trying out it right now, because it's going to come at no cost to you.
There we go. And right as I was going to try to segment us off, we just get another surge in viewers again. So all of you guys, thank you for joined us. Submit, congrats for winning on the second one right there. Guys, we're coming up on 40 minutes. Abhishek, thank you for joining us today. Thank you very much all for being part of the live stream and giving us your comments too. Ender, your call. Do we want to call it, or do you want to do another giveaway? That's totally up to you. Or do we want to save some for next week?
I think we'll save it for the community. What we'll do is that we'll not send an email to everyone to begin with. Let folks in the community get the first chance to go ahead and grab this. And maybe based on how the week goes, we'll take a call in terms of whether we want to have another round. I also know that Christmas is coming up. Think about what kind of campaigns you want to do for Christmas. And yeah, if you've got customers who love some personalized messages, then go ahead and probably share that example.
Perfect. Okay, guys, we'll go ahead and wrap things up right there. So let me take that off the screen. Give me just one sec. Let's do some quick call outs. Clyde, if people need to be able to get a hold of you or your company because they need to ask you questions privately, how would they go about doing that?
They can just go to our website, which is ob.services, and they can chat with us on our website, or they can email us at inquiry@ob.services.
I'll pull up the website real quick, and I'll put that as a overlay. Give me just one sec. There we go. There we are. I didn't know there was a TLD of called .services, so that came in really handy. Cody, there we go. Yep,
that's the correct one.
Yep, or inquiry@obi.services. And we'll put that up on the screen for everybody there. Perfect. One, you'll be our last comment of the day. Use case, a cold outreach to do service or product demos with cold email and segmentation, as well as pre-qualified and appointment settings. And all that together would need a combination of 2 to 5 tools. Yes, I could totally see that. That was actually really specific. So I have to ask, have you done something like that before? Or are you looking for someone to help you out with that? Because that was very, very specific, right? That was good and funny at the same time. But yes, something like that where you have to connect several services and tools together to get a desired outcome from a campaign is exactly how they would help you out. Yeah, that makes sense there. Best of luck to the community. If anyone wants to get a hold, there you go. Perfect. Masterlybusiness.com. Use case Queen out. All right. Take care, use case Queen. There you go. All right, guys.
Cell has probably explored the platform to a very different degree. So if people like Juan have that kind of a very specific or a complicated one, I think we can have, with Cell's permission, maybe a session for the power users or the experts who want these kind of things done.
That totally makes sense. I totally agree with you there. Cell, we'll have you come on the show probably in a week or two also. Larry, thanks for your time, guys. Looking forward to hearing more. You too, Larry. Thanks for joining us. Guys, on that note, let's keep social distancing in mind. Wash your hands, stay safe, and we'll see you guys all next week. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Take care, guys.